All right, everyone. Going to pull everything up for you here. See if we have everything correct. Are good. All right. So, set number 2 this evening: TeapotMaster versus Jimmy James. The maps are on your screen. We have Arabia in the center, Banana selected by TeapotMaster, and then we have Jungle Nomad here for Jimmy James. So it should be an interesting set as well. TeapotMaster has selected Magyars, Malians, Vikings, and Franks. Jimmy James has Bulgarians, Indians, Japanese, and another Goth selection. Wonder if that's going to be a potential banana civ yet again.
Pick kind of baffles me here since TeapotMaster has not gone for Archer civs. But I am thrilled with these home maps for sure. Looking forward to both Banana and Jungle Nomad.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Let me load up game number 1 here on Jungle Arabia. Both these players have to... Quick second, though, because I failed to look up who was the higher seed. That will determine their color. Like Jimmy James, a higher seed. Alright, so I am at 5 seconds when you're ready.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1, go. And why don't you go with the introductions?
Sounds good. So here we are on Jungle Arabia. In the, I guess we'll start with, we have Jimmy James, or in the yellow, we have Jimmy James as the Indians. I guess it's a very solid civ, especially when you're counterpicking an expected cavalry civ. Like it a lot here. His map's looking a little dicey with all of his golds forward to the side there. In fact, gold security is going to be extremely problematic for him, so luck to Jimmy James dealing with that. And on the other side, we got TeapotMaster as the Magyars. We haven't seen them all that much, but I think that they're a pretty top tier Arabia civ for sure. And yeah, excellent scouts, excellent CA. They're pretty well countered by the Indians, however, but definitely not any sort of hard counter to the point where there's any sort of civ win going on here.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, actually. I don't know why we don't see Magyars but often here. I think it's just a lot of civilization choices have been solid, and Magyar's a great civ, but we have seen quite a few Archer civs and or Frank's Berber civs on Arabia. Not so much in the way of Magyars, so we'll see what happens here. Should be interesting. I've just realized the color is actually wrong. 1 second. There we go. Color 7. There's a color 0, which is actually white, which is awkward. But nonetheless, we will see this. Yeah, Geo and Chad pointing out that pros hate Magyars without the economy bonus. But in all fairness, it is an issue, but that extra attack instantly is also quite nice, in my opinion. So, see how that works out for him.
Yeah, I think they have like one of the highest win rates of like all civs, and TeapotMaster's base here is actually like the best I've ever seen. He's got, I mean, on the other side, TeapotMaster's got these cliffs. He's got his berries in back. He's got his main gold. The total amount of space that he needs to wall in order to full wall his berries and gold is so little. It's just a dream base for a waller.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, and that is if he chooses to wall up at this point. I mean, it's such a tight map, and he may be going up for an early scouts build. He may choose not to. But on the other side, Jimmy James, not quite the options to wall up. It will be much more difficult for him.
Yep, which might end up being a good thing that, you know, between the unwallable base and the horrible golds, he might be incentivized to go aggressive, which is probably the way to be, just as a general rule of thumb. Though, in all reality, the guy who's got a nice wallable base is probably better off.
Yeah, and it will be interesting how this works out for both Jimmy James with the Indians. Very good civilization in the way of cheap villagers, and they do have quite the counter units for many Arabia favored civilizations, obviously going up against Franks as a counter selection in a lot of situations. But here against Magyars, still camels will be the choice, I believe, for Jimmy James, as they are faster than knights, so that should help if we do have cav archers for the Magyars, as well as be good against knights.
I mean, I think camels are considered like one of the strongest counters to knights and cav archers, which are the things that Indians are most expected to bring. Um, the Indian player is just like most likely going to make camels the backbone of his army.
Yep, both players look to be going up at the same time here. Will be Loom for both, and then Feudal Age directly behind, I believe. Yep, there it is. Just slightly faster here for Jimmy James. A couple seconds is all. Gonna be great to see how this one works out. Alucard, good.
I was going to say, very nice, tight, competitive builds from both players. Unlike in the low elo bracket, I don't think we were ever seeing this kind of, light idle time, low vill count click ups with both players looking like they're primed to actually bring military at the very start of feudal.
Yeah, absolutely. Alucard pointing out that Magyar is one of the most flexible civs in the game, having fully upgraded Arbaleth, Paladin, Cav Archers, and Champions being spectacular as well. Just missing that last armor upgrade for the Champion line. Lots of options indeed. Let's see how this one works out. Jimmy James's map is my most concerning issue for him, but it could also be a spectacular bonus for him as well. It's always just so hard to see 3 golds that literally sit on the same screen. But he is going to go into what looks to be Man-at-Arms here.
Yep, by bringing the men-at-arms forward, he's making it quite unlikely that TeapotMaster is going to have an immediate counterattack in Feudal Age. I mean, he has started walling. I would be shocked if he's actually able to full wall his golds in. But so long as the fight stays at TeapotMaster's base, Jimmy James has nothing to worry about.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has basically lost a militia here to this wolf, and will save it, but so low HP remaining. Man-at-Arms upgrade has not come in either, lacking the gold. There he has it now. Maybe he'll grab the upgrade, but all in all, a spear coming behind this as well. The aggression is going to be beneficial, like you said, keeping his opponent at his base, but walls are going up, looking to be late here. And there's only 3 scouts in the queue as the man-at-arms or militia are in.
Yep, Jimmy James, he's not going for men-at-arms, but he's doing a very good job. Oh, he is going for men-at-arms. He's doing a very good job being annoying with these militia, just dancing, taking up TeapotMaster's wood chopping time in APM, though a scout really helps to tip the balance of this fight.
There's a spear coming for it. I think you cancel the man-at-arms upgrade here. You've almost lost. You have lost 2. Yeah, he did cancel it. That's very good to see. Not worth spending it now, especially if he's not going to continue in that route, which I wouldn't expect him to. Spear and militia forward. Scout's still going to have to stay home and try to deal with this, as he's going to try to get the walls up again.
And Jimmy James is buying himself time now. I'm not sure what he's buying himself time for, really. I guess he's going for a few archers. But I would never be comfortable moving out with my army given Jimmy James's base. Scouts could just get in so easily and wreck him.
He's going for big walls on the right-hand side here. He will be open on the left for the time being. It's looking very rough to secure this map there. His general try to wall up and just secure the 1 gold. Scouts will be moving forward, though, and there are 3 of them, and actually a little bit of an unfortunate moment for Teapot as he sends the scouts all the way through his base here. We'll have to delete a wall if he wants out, it looks like. But I agree, Gio. If Man-at-Arms would have been in earlier, it would have been such a better position for Jimmy James here. He is going to be committing to the walls quite heavily here. The scouts are just now moving out due to that awkward walling situation that we had going on for Teapot. Master and archers forward through 3 of them on the field. No upgrades. There is a spear though, so these could still do damage. Fortunately for TeapotMaster, the scouts will not be able to get in on this side. It looks like we do have it up. He does have a spear at home, so hopefully he can continue to keep his opponent at bay. But fletching now coming in as well. So these archers could actually do a good bit of damage if they get in on this woodline.
Archers with fletching is definitely a nuisance. They can poke some bills over the wood line. If they want to, they can sit at a palisade wall and probably work their way in eventually. Definitely annoying for sure, at least, to have those archers arrive at your base.
Yeah, and they are going to arrive, but they're attacking the house, which is alerting his opponent to this situation. And the spears, 2 of them here, will have to chase the scouts around, and they are full HP, so Quickwell will fail. Jimmy James is going to be in some trouble here. Looks like 1 Vil should go down.
Yeah, the spears should have been sitting at the resources they were guarding. It looks like TeapotMaster knows how to micro these, and the spears will just never catch them. The only way to have spears do anything versus this is just to station the spears where they're needed. And Jimmy James is just chasing.
2 Vils for the price of 3 scouts with some idle time and some awkward situations. Not a bad play. A villager did go down just now on this blacksmith here. Archers are doing some damage. Do have 2 archers in a skirm at home.
Yep, and these few skirms should be enough to totally repel this, and I guess this is probably about the conclusion of the feudal age fighting in this game.
Yeah, both players are going to be fully walled, it looks like. No more scouts being created. Archer v Archer, or Archer v Skirm, really. Waiting for that defensive upgrade. Going to send the Skirms in here. And I really like this play. The Archer armor for skirmishers really make it hard for archers to deal with the skirms at this point in the game.
I feel like this is the second time recently we've seen someone go for skirm defense and do the archer before, or do the armor before fletching. Is that a thing? I thought you were almost always supposed to get fletching first.
Well, fletching doesn't really do you any good if you're just defending with skirmishers.
I mean, it allows you to match the range of the archers, I guess.
Yeah, but that armor is really effective. I mean, we're talking about 3+1 armor against... What is this? What armor do we have here? None?
Yeah, but
like...
the archers could actually sit and hit the wall at maximum range, and the skirms without fleshing would be unable to hit them back, I believe.
True. I mean, it's definitely more common to see fletching before, but in the case of defense, and if you're not planning on keeping up the skirmishers, the defensive upgrade sometime is prioritized. I feel like it makes sense. This is the only issue is when you're not able to track the army and almost loses another Vil here. But honestly, he's very content at home. He's going to build a house and a market on the outside of his walls to kind of actually extend his wall here. And it's on his way up. Both players are actually stable coming down here for Jimmy. And behind that, so far it's just full skirm. So again, kind of forcing your opponent into skirmishers here. Very nice move.
Yep, and between the 3-1 Eco KD and the idle time for Jimmy James, TeapotMaster has a pretty considerable economy lead here.
Yeah.
He's got the map advantage. I guess he's got the Civ disadvantage a little bit, we were saying. But 6 Vils of Eco going into Castle Age is no joke.
Yeah. Jimmy James forward with a villager already, though. Now we're talking some forward siege. I don't think there's any other reason for this Vil to be this far out here. He is going to go up against 8 skirms, though, and it is only 9 archers. They're not patrolling. They are taking a lot of free damage here. Really unfortunate, but I guess he's just going to try to retreat, and then we'll go into the camels.
Yep, waiting to actually hit Castle Age. He doesn't even want to queue up a single scout. I feel like a single scout would do so much to help him, like, just get down this forward siege workshop, but I won't complain about waiting for the camels here.
Yeah, and honestly, the villager is still alive. It is still safe here. And actually, he's going light cav. So it will be a light cav play. I do not think this is the right move here. Light cav. I mean, if you had them on the field, he's going to go light cav crossbow. Okay. Not what I was expecting, but I suppose it is a lot less on the economy to go light cav. If he has crossbows in the mix, interesting.
I think it's just like an outright weaker comp by a pretty wide margin. And at this phase of the game, like, gold efficiency isn't really a big concern. So again, it's a decision I don't understand to go light cav over camel. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to play out all that well. I think he's assuming his opponent is going into archers. It will actually be cav archers, it looks like we're seeing added, as well as knights. No siege workshop just yet. He has the wood for it. I think he wants to place it farther forward, but I think he should have just put it on this hill that he's put these houses to.
Yeah, I guess his rhythm was thrown off quite a lot by the skirms kind of threatening his ville, and it seems he's forgotten to make the siege workshop as it comes down right now.
Yeah, and honestly, going into crossbow just doesn't feel right in this situation now, but
I mean, if you can control the position of the fight, crossbows are a very efficient unit. His numbers are not that great, however, and with his opponent going for CA and knights, light cav is just so inferior to camels, and he's floating so much gold. He could have just as easily queued camels. It hurts so much, man, to see these light cav.
yeah, I mean, I love light cav in late game, obviously, most people do. But in this position, this is just brutal. And he hasn't seen the cav archers yet. Does not know that they are going cav archer. Banano could come forward and just go down so quickly.
Yeah, and he also continues to rack up the idle time. I am feeling a little bit like TeapotMaster might be outclassing Jimmy James a little bit here. Just in terms of, like, decision-making, macro, just some fundamental things.
Mangonel is out, but the knights, camel archers, skirmishers all here. Light cav won't stand a chance. Mangonel will go down, only getting 3 kills in the end. And this is going to be a massive cleanup here, as the cav archers and light cav, or cav archers and knight rather, will just clean everything here. And camels are now being queued up.
Jimmy James just lost the game. He's behind an eco. He's lost his forward position. He's lost his army. I mean, he's really not down by that much. But with the additional TC coming up for TeapotMaster and seeing TeapotMaster with a full military queue, it's difficult to imagine Jimmy James getting back into this.
He is adding his second TC now. He does have camels here. Indian camels benefiting from that additional Pierce armor, as well as having +2/+1 in this position will make them pretty decent, but he needs the time to mass them here, as it is only 12 military to 27, and it is fully upgraded knights. Cav archer's only missing 1 armor here.
Yep, and Jimmy James has taken the fight again too soon, man. I mean, it kind of looked nice, his army there, but he's outnumbered 2-1 here. I mean, camels do technically counter both of these units in a way, but not in a 2-1 outmatched way.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty rough. He did get the second TC up, but now he's going to have military in his face here, and he will have no military really to respond but this, and looking rough.
And the army's now at his gates. It seems like it's just a matter of a minute or so before the army is inside his walls.
And behind this, a university coming up already. Production has still been completely continuing with the cav archers. It's more cav archers than knight play at the moment, and I think that's the right move because he can micro these forever and use use the knights as the meat shield, as this gold is going to be very exposed now, and we'll have to retreat. Jimmy James in a lot of trouble here.
Yep, I mean, this is a phase of game one that we see often. The outcome is determined, at least from the caster's perspective, but, you know, the players, they play it out. I don't know if Jimmy James is kind of just going through the motions, you know, enjoying the exercise, is trying to get the jitters out, or if he genuinely thinks he has a chance. I guess the score lead is kind of on the fringe of where a comeback is possible, but Camel numbers are getting to be a bit respectable, but he's still outnumbered 3-1.
Yeah, and he's going to go Elite Skirm. This is just not an upgrade that's really worth having. I mean, there are tons of knights in the field. The Cav Archers are super massed. Yeah, I think you have to go just full camel production here. But he's gonna build a bunch of skirmishers and try to defend that way. I just don't see that panning out so well here. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, with the eco this close, anything to prolong the game would help. Maybe just going for like TCs for defensive positioning or something like that. I don't know. I mean, Jimmy James is actually super close in eco, now that I look at it. And the military is now less than 2-1. Is it possible he's pulling it back?
But just look at the army value. It's less than half. It is be so difficult to win a fight, even with the counter unit here. I mean, Elite Skirm hasn't even been upgraded. He had 6 skirmishers in front of it, and it will now be upgraded, so he's going to not be able to take those even as a good fight for another 40 seconds. I mean, he is doing a fine job to secure himself, but I think it's just because we're waiting for the Siege Workshop to come up here, as a third town center went down in the meantime here on a wood line and gold for TeapotMaster. And skirmishers are about to be in, but if the knights engage the skirmishers at any point, it's still not going to be pretty.
Fight starting out okay for Jimmy James.
Yes, but here goes the knights on the skirms. The skirms are in low number, and now ballistics, full upgraded CA at the moment, and this is just going to be another cleanup here. TeapotMaster now has forward siege. GG comes in, and TeapotMaster takes game number 1. Looking very good. I think Jimmy James had an opportunity, but he did not have man-at-arms in early enough for himself early there. I think that really hurt him. That could have been a big raid here on this wood line.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say that that one thing is what did it. TeapotMaster took a small advantage, and I don't know, man, the decision to go light cav instead of camel might have actually been the breaking point.
Yeah, that was a bit rough. He could have had a good 4 more camels probably than he did in the first fight. But all in all, move on here. Go back to the draft. See who's going where. Sorry, that was the bracket. But here we have the draft. Magyars with the victory over the Indians. And we are going to Jimmy James' home map next, which will be Jungle Nomad, folks.
Game 2, it actually says, is Banana.
Oh, have the home map correct here. My apologies, guys. I must have had this mixed up here. Alright, well, we will go to Banana then.
Well,
What?
just saying ready with the Banana whenever you are. I'm skipping the bugged version.
Yes. And the same. To load up the correct colors here. And I am at 6 seconds. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. TeapotMaster taking game number 1, Banana, the home map of Jimmy James. My apologies, I had a bit of an issue there. Put the maps on the wrong side of the overlay. But nonetheless, Vikings versus Japanese. How do you feel about this matchup?
I don't really understand either pick. I assume players have their reasons for it. I guess the Japanese cheaper collection buildings comes to mind as a relevant bonus on this map. For Vikings, I don't know why anyone would go for them here. Definitely, there's no obvious usage for any of their bonuses, at least to me here. Their unique unit, I guess, is like pretty good, but that could be said of any map. I guess they're both generally considered to be pretty high tier civs. Maybe they're just the player's favorite civs and they're comfortable with it. You have any thoughts?
It's rough. It's rough. I mean, obviously, the infantry being so good for both these civs, and maybe each of these players think that it's going to be an infantry-dominated map. Personally, I don't understand Vikings on this map. I think Japanese do make sense, like you said, the collection buildings being so nice here for them. But I'm not sure what we're going to see from either one of them. It's a very strange map, so I mean, I give these players a lot of leeway as to what and why they pick these things at this point, because I mean, I think Franks have to be my pick. If I had to pick a civ for this map, I think I have to go Franks, simply for the castle and for the foraging bonus. I mean, we're talking about thousands of food for free collected faster there. I mean, that's the only thing I can figure.
Franks have two very strong bonuses on this map for sure, with the faster forage bushes and the cheaper castles. I mean, I guess I personally would probably just go for Turks because it's my most played civ. I feel like anything is viable at this phase in the map's development.
Yeah, for sure. Kato's bringing up in chat that extra HP on Man at Arms. It is huge. That is massively beneficial. Isn't it like 20% bonus, I believe, too, now, right away?
Is it like negated by the Japanese faster attacking kind of if it comes head to head?
Well, yeah, that's kind of an interesting point as well. I mean, I don't know. It's so weird. It's such a hard bonus, like both of these bonuses, HP or faster attacking. I think we need a Spirit of the Law video just on this matchup, but who knows. Either way, both players will have decent economies. I mean, Vikings getting free wheelbarrow and handcart, still, in my opinion, an amazing spot for the civilization. And honestly, I think it was more of a buff for them to get that infantry upgrade bonuses and all that, rather than summering. But players will have to adapt in this map, no question. It's a brutal map, and trying to come up with a strategy for it is going to be interesting to see how this develops. I think, as we see a mining camp for Jimmy James here, I think we're going to see towers, and I think Man-at-Arms towers makes a lot of sense on this map. Probably most viable strategy, I think.
Yeah, I definitely approve. Towers are clearly very strong here. If you're not going aggressive with them, using them defensively to make sure that you're not towered yourself is huge. Having the extra stone to drop a castle when the time comes is huge. I mean, I guess the real estate is just so precious on this map. You know, an individual tower covers so much and just does so much work.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, although there's enough res in the TC's range to really get to Castle Age, getting the map control is a very important thing on this map, as we see 5 villagers and a barracks. So I think it will be militia towers, or Man-at-Arms towers, no question here. Loom coming in for TeapotMaster. TeapotMaster should be clicking up here shortly. Already has his barracks up as well. Loom, and then I believe he'll be up. Monkeys, both hanging out around here on the same side of the map. But 5 vills, that monkey's not going to stand much of a chance.
Get a lot from
engagement.
Jimmy James. Yep.
Engagement in the darkness. Jimmyjames wins that engagement even, so he will be in a very good position in this militia. A little late, I think, coming forward. He does have 2, but waiting for the tower. Honestly, I think he's better off to drop a lumber or mining camp just to drop back to or something here. He's so far ahead on the map so early. Only thing is where do you put it in this position?
I mean, better early than late. I think this is going to be so strong from Jimmy James. He home mapped this. Maybe he's practiced the strategy. Definitely theorized it. He's going to be able to afford multiple towers while his opponent can only afford 1. He's going to have military while his opponent has none. TeapotMaster is going to be left scrambling here.
And honestly, I think taking out the barracks could be the move right now. Just putting towers behind this here. And the Man-at-Arms will be in. Nothing here for TeapotMaster behind this.
I like building the first tower out of visibility. It doesn't give the opponent a chance to react while it's being built, though as it starts auto-attacking the barracks, it's obviously revealed. Second tower in an absolutely devastating position if this comes up. If this goes up, it will range the only stone. TeapotMaster uses all of his stone to get up the necessary counter tower. Jimmy James's still might go up. And yeah, if both these towers go up, it's definitely better for Jimmy James because TeapotMaster is going to have literally nothing that's not ranged by it. TeapotMaster is going to maybe be able to like take his berries, but yeah, his entire economy is now ranged by a garrison tower.
Yeah, it's rough for sure. I mean, I think you rush the tower, and I think that's what he's preparing to do. And then you pretty much guarantee that you can at least take your res. It's going to focus down villagers here. So villager losses will definitely be coming in. But the Man-at-Arms attacking this tower over here, also in range of the town center.
I think the Men-at-Arms could maybe attack it from the opposite side to get out of the TC range.
I think the houses there actually block it off, so that's not possible.
With this path he's taken, yes, but I think there is a tile like right between the houses that would have worked. But regardless, he's not going for it.
Yeah, nonetheless, towers going to be the fight that we're watching right now. Blacksmith coming up here for TeapotMaster, and fletching could go a long way. Behind this, the blacksmith is already up. Fletching has not come in yet, though. Fletching timing could be huge, and this tower will have to go down, actually, so well played. I did do damage. Villagers have been lost, but forward archery range as well. Teapot, though, with the economic advantage and has the military advantage, too. These archers, honestly, could be devastating. They could sit right under this tower. Idle time kinda hurting Jimmy James here by a pretty good margin, plus 5 vills being forward. Only 3 of those remain. Eco KD is 3-1, so TeapotMaster did a good job to defend this, and I think he's looking to go up here very soon.
Yeah, Jimmy James, he definitely did some damage, but I think he hurt himself more in the process. He's down considerably in vills now. He's going to be left with no towers standing. Possible his forward buildings will also go down.
Yeah, and now 6 archers being shown, and these 3 villas have come forward to repair yet again, and I think they're all going to die here, and Jimmy James is looking to be in a bad way after this very nice aggressive start for himself here.
Yes, I like the idea. I do very much appreciate him picking Banana, but this tower rush has just abjectly failed, and you know, I don't want to say it's over, but it's possible that TeapotMaster might just be outclassing him as a player.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Archer production continues. Double Bit-X is added in. Honestly, Skirmisher Edition really just hurts Teapot at this point. It's forward. And the archers are all going to be headed to his base. He doesn't have any of them masked up. He has 2 archers available, but, I mean, it appears this didn't do enough damage, and honestly, Castle Age is pretty close, but he still needs to get to Castle Age. And both players looking to be fairly comfortable. TeapotMaster mining stone with 15 villagers right now. Could be a potential castle going forward in the next stage. We do have a nice little attack here, though, as villagers will likely be lost here, as it is 2 archers and 3 skirmishers. But that is noticed. He will pull these back. He will probably lose 1. No, it looks like it's going to be just fine, actually. And then the archers forward ran into the town center, losing 1 archer. Bit unfortunate, but he is putting the pressure back on. Teapot has to defend.
Yep, solid counterattack, but the Vil difference is just so dramatic. And Jimmy James also with so much idle time as he garrisons. TeapotMaster is just going to pull away so much in resource collection.
And this may be a bit of the pathing struggles for this map, as TeapotMaster loses quite the archer numbers, but he is, as you said, idling this town center like crazy. Worker efficiency is only 30-40%. Pretty rough. These 2 farms will never go up here as well. And on the front, yes, there are skirmishers here, but like TeapotMaster is going to drop another tower defensively. And honestly, he needs a market. He has a market. He should probably just buy his way up at this point. Has almost 800 stone.
Yep. Here definitely seems like the thing to do. If he can get up to Castle Age first, especially while maintaining the stone for a castle, I can't see how he would lose this game.
Yep, sells off some stuff here, buys some stuff here. He manages the economy, and clicking up right behind this villager, Castle Age. This tower is desperation at its finest here. Will only give him access to his gold, and TeapotMaster will retreat back home. But I do suspect with 17 on stone that we will see a forward castle with crossbows, potentially, it seems. Although we are adding quite a bit of skirmishers on this side.
Yep, Jimmy James is going to get there first, but he kind of doesn't have the resources to do anything with it. Maybe a mangonel or something would do a lot versus these ranged units, and also possibly for denying a castle. But TeapotMaster is going to be able to drop one when he gets up, while Jimmy James, his eco is just so far behind.
Yep, 5 minutes of eco idle TC time compared to 1. And he will be first up. See what he does with it. Siege Workshop is hopefully in the works. He is sending 2 villagers rather far forward here, though. So it'll be interesting to see what he gets. I'm hoping it's Siege Workshop to give him a solid chance here. It is. But behind this, it is 43 eco to 28. And it's supplies, actually. So we're going into long swords for Jimmy James. Not looking good for him now.
That's the worst choice. Mangonels and like any Siege Workshop units would be very good right now as well, but I just can't get past that eco deficit. I mean, no one comes back from this.
Well, and the TC has been idle upon reaching this age. Been over a minute of solid idle time here, and we're going to go into Rams. So Rams, long swords against what will likely be Berserker's crossbow, if we had to take a guess. If we're going to mix up this composition at all, and Berserkers will do just fine against the long swords. That's what it comes to.
Yeah, and ultimately with his economy, TeapotMaster is just going to be able to field such a larger military that even if his unit choice is countered by Jimmy James, I expect TeapotMaster to be able to steamroll it.
Yeah, and this castle is here. It is visible. I don't know if he's going to pay attention enough to see the flags here, but 2 Rams, 2 long swords, only 8 military.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the effort, but TeapotMaster is just slow rolling in here. TeapotMaster's choosing to sit back, but he's really in such a dominating position that he could just crush at any moment.
Yeah, I mean, the Siege, if it was Mangonels, could have done something in this position, but Rams now are just not going to do anything. We have Berserks on the field. They will deal with the Rams. The Archers and Skirmishers will deal with the Longswords, and the Skirmishers are not even upgraded here for Jimmy James, so he's having a rough go here on his home map.
Yep, but the more it drags out, TeapotMaster doesn't have multiple TCs or anything. The Vil difference is kind of negated as they both crawl up. Man, if there was a Mangonel here, there'd be the opportunity for such a big shot.
Yeah, but instead we're going to have a castle coming forward. So castles are slowly owning the map here for TeapotMaster. The Rams will be headed backwards, and he's going to load the longswords up in the vans, in the Rams, and try to push with them on this castle. But I think there's just too much military here. 26 to 12, 4 of that military being Rams. Even if this castle were to go down, I don't think there's a way that Jimmy James is going to be able to kill off this military.
Yep, well, he's got to try. 4 Rams have been known to take down a castle before. The Longswords do outnumber the Berserk, so there actually is a world in which Jimmy James does win this fight and take down the castle. But the Longswords definitely need to engage the Berserks. They can't be letting them shred the Rams like this.
Castle will lose about half of its HP. The GG comes in. TeapotMaster will take the set 2 games to none. Good luck next to your opponent. Good sportsmanship. Jimmy James ultimately goes down here, and pretty solid behind this for TeapotMaster moving forward as well.
Yep, another player who just looks rock solid. I mean, a lot of the people in this bracket, it's less than 1,500. Like, these are pretty serious competitive players. I do appreciate the sportsmanship as well. Very
Yeah.
happy to see a couple banana games. Interesting ones for sure.
Banana is not a map that I expected us to see in best of threes by any means. Once we got to best of 5, best of 7, I definitely figured we were going to see it, but players are in favor of unique maps that continue. But yeah, pretty open and closed case here. 2-0 for TeapotMaster. He will be moving forward. Jimmy James, thank you for participating. Good luck. GG's. Your next games. We're going to update the bracket again here, guys. This is the last set of the evening. We do have, I believe, 2 or 3 more sets of Rex already turned in, so we do have a few more nights ahead of us here for the round of 32 games that have been played. Just a quick update to those players, though. You do have until next Sunday to actually turn those games in on, which I believe is the 16th. So plenty of time yet. But thank you guys for getting some games, and it allowed us to kind of space this out a little bit more than if you all would have turned them in weekend. So without further ado, we'll update the bracket, guys. If you don't want any spoilers, now would be the time to look away. All right, let's see. This was a round of 64 matchup here. TeapotMaster moves on, and round of 32 is filling out pretty nicely. We already have some players advancing. Theo, Raja, Geo, and B all moved into the round of 16 already, and we already have some games available to play. I have an update for you guys on the players who have been unreachable. Still, all of them unreachable. So if you have not met your opponent via the Discord, we will give them a little bit more time. Probably Wednesday, I think, will be the day that we'll have to call it for them. And I think that is more than fair. Sorry.
I think that's definitely reasonable. Most of these guys have been trying to find their opponents for over a week now. I mean, if they have been absent up through this Wednesday, they've had ample opportunity.
I agree. I've reached out to them all twice. I know that other players have tried to reach out to their opponents as well. So Wednesday is the deadline for that. If you guys don't hear from your opponent and I don't hear from you or them, it will be an admin win for you. So congratulations if that is your case. But guys, it has been a long day. I have to go to work tomorrow. Sad times. But thank you for showing up. Everyone who's been consistently showing up, I do appreciate it. Has been good to have you guys all here along for the ride. GG's to everyone. Sorry, close this out.
Close this out. You're increasing the pressure on me to have closing remarks. Thank you very much, Dap and Jimmy James, for playing. I appreciate you guys playing so hard. I appreciate all 10 viewers very much. Kind of blown away with the viewership a little bit. And yeah, man, looking forward to casting some more. Can't wait to play my own games.
Yeah, should not be too long. I'm gonna send you guys over to another streamer here, someone who was here last night. Actually, his name's DJ3, the strategy something. I don't know. Got a long name, but nonetheless, we're gonna send you guys over to him. And you guys had fun. Good luck. See you guys soon.
All right, good casting, dude. I'm gonna hop into the team game real quick.
All right, sounds good.
Oh man, I'm so tired tonight. Maybe we should start hype casting. Oh my god, the fight! Oh my god.
I leave that to you, good sir.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. All right, see you around, dude. Peace.
Yeah.